Hey everybody, Ed here with Digital Digest, and today I wanted to give you guys a quick update on my experience with inductive charging. So of course that's wireless charging for your respective smartphone, something I have covered in the past. However, today I wanted to focus on the Samsung Galaxy S3. So on the right side you're looking at the SG3 with its stock back cover. On the left we have the inductive cover. Now you can only get this inductive cover from Verizon wireless retail locations. That shouldn't be surprising since the branding is right there. But don't worry, it works with all Samsung Galaxy S3s no matter what carrier you're on. The only thing that doesn't work with all carriers is NFC functionality. That's only going to work out if you have a Verizon branded phone. So moving away from pricing, let's talk about what we get out of actual functionality. Yes, the inductive back cover is a little bit thicker and it does retail for that $40 as I mentioned earlier. So pricey, but if you know the history of inductive charging, then you know that things have gotten far more affordable than where they were at launch, and they should be. So QI certification, critical. That basically means that whichever charging pad you're going to select, just make sure that it is QI certified. Now you can go ahead and purchase the one from Verizon. That is an LG manufactured pad. It supports one device, originally retailed for $130 when it launched. Now it's priced at $49.99. However, I cannot recommend it for this device, and I'll tell you guys why. The SG3, every time it finishes charging, the LG pad will emit an alarm, and you cannot turn that alarm off. So unfortunately that means every time your SG3 is done charging, when it trickles down that 2 or 3% and then recharges back up, that alarm is going to go off. And if you do keep your phone in your bedroom, it's just not going to work out. So forgo that LG pad that Verizon Wireless is selling. I'm letting you guys know in case you do actually want to keep the phone in your bedroom. It's a good idea to look for other options. Also, in terms of pricing, even though that's a big reduction, there are other charging solutions out there, like the Energizer one that has 2 charging slots, or I should say positions on the pad. It's a larger solution, a little bit more bulky, but far more affordable and just as old, and in fact in many ways superior. It does not have that alarm that goes off, just a visual cue, an LED that lights up. So basically I already ordered that. I should have it shortly to share with you guys as well, and that's about half the price. You can find that right now through Amazon for around $25, which is around where I picked it up. I'll include a link in the description. But all of those comments aside, let's go ahead and look at thickness. I know that's what a lot of you guys are curious about. The cover is a little bit thicker. Right now you can see what the stock SG3 looks like and what you may know it already feels like since you may own it. It's a very slim and sleek phone. So the good news is that even though the inductive back cover is a little bit thicker, it doesn't really end up doing anything other than making the phone feel more solid, which, considering the SG3's biggest weakness is its build quality, arguably, it's actually nice to have a little bit more of a solid feel from this back cover. So let me go ahead and pop off the stock cover so I can show you guys the difference. And basically what I can tell you is that, and this may actually be meaningful to quite a few of you guys out there, besides the color being different and the thickness being different, and more of a premium feel with the inductive cover on, and obviously the ability to cut the cord, most importantly, I've also noticed that a lot of the creaking that I had with the stock back cover that's included is now gone. In fact, all of it's gone. And I used to think that was a problem with the build of the phone. So that says a lot about, how Samsung manufactured these back covers, because really it was just a matter of a back cover replacement. Now, I'm not saying that I couldn't have picked up another one of these back covers, the stock ones, and it wouldn't have worked out. It may have. But what I can tell you is that I like the fit and finish with the inductive better, despite the fact whether or not it ended up really being the only solution. But there you guys have it in terms of a side-by-side on thickness. Really a very minimal difference. So I can't complain about the thickness, especially since I just gave you guys a tremendous amount of praise in terms of eliminating creaks, a more solid feel, and frankly, I actually like the color scheme a little bit better. Of course, if you go with the white, you're not going to have the variation in color, since white is going to be white, and it is the same shade from what I saw at the store level. Overall, though, another thing to point out, your camera is recessed with the inductive back cover, something many of you who like to, go naked with the phone, no cover, maybe you have a skin only, do keep in mind that if you have the inductive back cover, it's going to keep the lens a little recessed, certainly good for protection. It's not going to actually act as a form of protection, but when you put the phone down, it won't be like with the stock back cover where the lens actually is resting on whatever surface you place the phone on. Beyond that, nothing really else to add other than the fact that, despite the fact that it has that Verizon branding, as I mentioned before, it will work with any SG3. And unfortunately, there aren't any other inductive back covers out there right now. I'm not sure why. I'm sure we'll see them. This is an extraordinarily popular smartphone, if not the most popular smartphone right now on the market. So I look to see more support from both the manufacturer and third-party manufacturers, but right now this is the only game in town, folks. And again, thickness is really extraordinarily comparable. And just to show you what it looks like on the actual smartphone, because it is really just a better experience in every way, as I keep mentioning. I've just found it to make the phone feel solid, where I'm not knocking the the feel of the phone. I'm glad that Samsung kept it so thin, but now it actually just gives it a much more substantial feel than previous. And a little bit more weight, obviously, because it's got the circuit board on there for the inductive charging. So really like this inductive back cover, can recommend it at its still steep $40 price point. Obviously, the charging base solutions like the LG one, which I am telling all of you to stay away from if you're going to keep the phone in the bedroom, as well as the Energizer branded one, which is old, those have all come down in price a lot. So even though the back covers haven't, the pads have. So if you're looking to cut the cord, definitely a good time to do it. Another reason, by the way, to do it is to really just, eliminate wear on your, charging that micro USB port, because obviously, at least for me, the less I have to, pull a cable out of there or plug it in, I know the less it's going to be apt to fail. So that's another good reason for wireless charging. A side note, also, for those of you who want to know the actual charge times, I've found it to be comparable to actual wired charging, something that in the past, previously, inductive charging always trailed direct wired charging. So something noteworthy, and that was with the LG charging pad. I'll of course report back when I get the Energizer pad and see if there's any difference in performance. But if you guys have any questions or comments, please feel free to post them. And of course, as usual, please feel free to subscribe. Later.